digital spaces. She had also written publications, including newspaper publication, PR. There's this word they call it. I can't remember. Sorry, I'm not a PR person, but there's a way. Is it PR brief or so? But she has done a couple of things for different organizations, and our wealth of experience couldn't have made her any less perfect to take this course today. So I would like us to open up to learn. Also bear in mind that there is a space for us to ask questions at some point in this session. So the idea of this, why we are doing this, is because we want to, it's our own way of giving back to businesses, giving back to people. Maright Consulting as a company, we're not just about wanting to make money. There is a part of us that is also giving back, which is why we have free sessions like this. We also have what we call knowledge development session, which is our KDS. We have our KDSs happening like once every quarter in a year. And there will be one coming up very soon on the 1st of February. I'm already using this opportunity to invite you to join that particular KDS. You're going to learn a whole lot. We have a global technical recruiter who will be coming to facilitate that session. And the session is about how you can get technical jobs. A lot of people have tech skills, but can't seem to find the right environment to place themselves in, or how to position themselves for opportunity. All of those are the things you would learn in our coming session. But while we're here today, let us ensure to get the most we can gain from the content writing course. Even myself, I'll be learning a lot. I'll be in this class as a student as well to learn how I can better write my content and be able to put myself out there. So at this point, I would like us to, if we can use emojis, if we can unmute our mics and clap, let us please welcome our facilitator to take the floor. I would love an engaging class, please. Let us please welcome our facilitator. Either we want to unmute and clap, or we want to throw in emojis. Let us welcome our facilitator to join. Thank you so much, everyone. At this point, I'll let her take over. Doreen, you have the floor.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. It's such a pleasure. I don't know the PR what she was trying to remember. I would have been able to help her out, but I cannot remember. I don't know the what she was trying to remember. But anyway, my name is Doreen, and I am a public relations expert. Sometimes people refer to us as corporate comms experts or corporate communications. And in communications, we do a lot of writing. Content writing is like an everyday thing for us. So I'm excited to be here. Please give me a minute to put up my slide. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Can everyone see my screen? Please just confirm so I can go ahead.
Yes, I can see your slide from my end.
Okay. So the essence of today's class is to understand what content writing is. I know many people might have heard the word content writing before now. It's not a new word. This is something that has been existing for a while now. In fact, many people are cashing out for content writing. So from today's lecture, our agenda will be to discuss what content writing is. Under this would also have sub slides, but this is like the main thing we'll be looking at. So the first thing is what is content writing. The second is how to write proper content, elements of great content, and then content writing tools. We know that with technology now, when it comes to writing, there are so many tools, from writing, from editing, from research down to even publishing. There are so many tools that help to make the work very easy for us. So what is content writing? Content writing is the process of creating and publishing written content for a variety of purposes, including marketing, education, and entertainment. So it could be blog posts, it could be for a social media page, it could be white papers. So white papers are like a write-up that companies use to shed more light and provide insight into maybe their offering, maybe they're launching a new product or something. So they do like a proper write-up. So this is also something that as a content writer, you can say, oh, I can do this for you, and then you get paid for it. So from this definition, we can say that a content writer is someone who is responsible for creating content for a website, social media, blog posts, emails, and other forms of communication, but mostly online. They're actually mostly online. Fine, there are offline platforms where you can turn out your content too, but they're mostly online. So in this field, there are three major things that people actually confuse themselves with when they ask them, okay, what is content writing? Sometimes we have a mix-up. We mix up content writing with content and copywriting and then with content creation. So I had to first of all try to see how I can break them down before I go further into the main topic, which is content writing. So now, if you're a content writer, this is what you do. So a content writer provides value to the audience by delivering useful and engaging information. So the goal of content writing is to educate, to inform, and to build trust with the audience. So if you are writing content, these are the things that you are hired to do. You're hired to write content to educate. For instance, you are working with a brand. That brand wants you to be able to write something that will educate people who are their customers. They could be their customers, they could be their partners. So there are different people that will be following you on social media, as a brand. For instance, you have let's say Chevron. Both customers are following them, both people who just want to know what's going on in the oil industry are following them. So that different people, different segments of the audience following them on social media. So as a content writer, your goal is to now write contents that are tailored to these people, to the category of people that you can find as followers on this platform. So you're writing to inform, you're writing to educate, and to build trust with the audience. So what are the typical deliverables to say, oh, you're a content writer, this is what you're expected to do? Blog posts
Your
as a content
slide,
writer.
sorry, Doreen. Sorry, your slide is not moving. Are you moving your slides?
No. I'm on the content writer, copywriter, and content creator slide. Can you see
It's not
that?
moving. We're still on the first slide saying understanding content writing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it moving now? What about
It's
now?
not. No. Would you want to stop sharing and reshare your screen again?
Okay, let me do that.
Okay, it's moving now. It's here. It's here.
Sorry, hold on. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can.
Is it moving? Please just confirm if it's moving.
Have you moved? Because the screen I still
Yes.
see is content writing, copywriting, content creator.
Okay. Let me see.
Or would you like to do a full screen? Okay, yeah, presentation. Okay.
Yeah. Can you see it now? Is it moving?
Yeah, I can see it. Yes.
I think I'll just use this approach. Okay, so I was on the slide where I was trying to differentiate who a content writer is, who a copywriter is, and who a content creator is. So for a content writer, your deliverables will most likely be blog posts. You're writing a blog post, you're writing social media captions, you're writing articles, you're writing white papers. I had explained what white paper is earlier. You're writing ebooks, you're writing case studies, and SEO optimized content. This is another topic entirely. SEO, like optimizing your content for on websites so that it can have high traffic and visibility. So as a content writer, like I said earlier, your main goal is to inform, to educate, and to build trust. But now, when it comes to copywriting, people use these words interchangeably, but they're actually different. But the thing is, most times as a copywriter, you are also as a content writer, you are also a copywriter, because you hardly not find yourself writing content for marketing purposes aside education. So now copywriting focuses on the marketing part most times. So as a copywriter, you are focusing on persuasive and promotional writing. Now, I said for content writer, you're focused on informing, engaging, and building trust. But for copywriting, you are focusing on persuasion and promotional writing. So you find yourself doing a lot of call to action. For instance, you come across a social media ad, and they say, "Oh, do you want to join the next big thing? Click to click to sign up. Click to join." So those are copywriting. Those short write-ups, those write-ups that prompts you to take action. Those are copywriting. And that's the work of a copywriter. So a copywriter writes something that will persuade you, and promote something to you. Now you can see the difference. Content writing, you are doing more of informing, educating, and connecting with the audience, building trust. Then copywriting, you are doing more of selling. You are doing more of writing to be able to get people to take actions, to purchase something, to sign up for something, click the link and all of that. So for a copywriter, most of the deliverables, when I say deliverables, like things that are expected from you, most of the things that are expected from you is writing copies for advertisements. For instance, the billboards you see out there that you say, there's this one for Piggy Vest that is trending both on social media and on the billboards. Something like serviced over something billion customers, something like that. So that is the copywriting. So copywriting will grab your attention, like something very short, but it's actually promoting a cause. That is the essence of copywriting. Sometimes it can be long. For instance, you want to do email marketing. So in that case, it won't be short. But most times, copywriting can be short. But at the end of the day, whether short or long, you are writing for marketing purpose, for promotional purpose. So you're writing things like taglines, slogans, copies for social media ads, etc. So now the third thing is content creation. So now content creator. Now, what a content creator does is to generate a variety of content tailored to like specific platforms. So all these influencers you see, they are content creators, from ideation to creating it. So most times, as a content writer, let's say you are the introvert, you don't like to put your face out there. You can simply say, "No, I'm not a content creator, I'm a content writer." There's actually a difference. So people actually mix them up, use them interchangeably, but you can be a content writer and not be a content creator. So a content creator down to doing to videos, visuals, and all of that. So you see them doing social media content, YouTube, churning out content on TikTok, podcasts themselves. So that is beyond content writing. These ones are actually producing the content, you know. So as a content writer, you can decide, you can work with the content creator and you can still be the same person, but you can be different from the content creator. Now, for instance, a podcast series, they can say, "Oh, we need writers for our episodes." Those people you see that are talking, they might not be the one that actually wrote what they wanted to talk about. So a content writer could have possibly written the content for them while they shoot. They are the content creators. They are the one that will come say it, do the recording and all of that. So I don't know if we now understand the difference between these three. So I just need to put a perspective to it before we go deep into content creation. Now, why do businesses need content writers? For content, businesses want to convey information, they want to educate audience, they want to engage with their audience. So they will always need you. They will always need you. So if I'm starting a business now, I want to be able to say, I want to create a website, I want to have a social media page. How do I want to tell people that this is what I offer? How do I want to tell people that I can solve your problem? Oh, we do consultation. You need to come to us. I'll need to be able to talk about it. And talking about it is educating them about it, informing them about it. So this is where a content writer comes in. So content writers are very much needed for businesses in the world we find ourselves today. Now they want to inform, they want to engage. So This takes us to our next slide. So what are the types of content formats? So we have different content formats. It could be articles, maybe you're writing a press release, you're writing a feature, you know. If a I've been in the situation where a brand wants to promote a new product and I had to write a press release and I had to write a feature. So there are different types of writing that you can do. So a press release is different. It's more of the formal perspective, of how the company wants to sound. And then you can have an article. The article could be a feature to say, oh, it would be like a normal conversation about that product. So it's not giving that corporate vibe. It's not giving that corporate approach to putting out information. This is more like a general, an individual opinion, individual point of view kind of writing. So there are different types of writing, from press release, from website content. You can be on your own, and someone will say, I want to do a website content, and you can take the job of providing. I want to build a website, and you can take the job of providing. I've had situations like that where somebody wants to do a website, and I just took the job of writing the content. The person that will build the website does not know how to write. So if you can write, that is an opportunity to make money. You know. So I've mentioned white papers before. Oh, sorry, I have that written twice on my slide. White papers, social media, captions. These are the variety of that content format that we have out there. So now, how do you write a proper content? Now, the first thing is you need to identify your goals and target audience. So you need to understand the purpose of your content, who you are writing for, why are you writing. So in communications, we call that 5 Ws and H. Now you want to know who you're writing for, what are you writing for, where, where is that thing that you're writing going to be used? Like, so in communication, it could be where did it happen, but in this case, it can be okay where what you're writing now, what platform is it going? How do you want to put out this communication? So you need to look at all of those things. And then in digital marketing, we call it customer persona. You want to know, is the person I'm writing for, is she a female? Am I writing for the female audience? Am I writing for the male audience? Am I writing for people who are in the business class? Am I writing for people who are young graduates and are still trying to understand this part? Am I writing for people who are not the direct users? For instance, Pampers. You want to market, you want to write something for a company that produces Pampers. You are not going to write like you are writing for the baby. Now, the baby is the user. That's the primary user, but the secondary user is the mothers. It could also be the fathers. Some fathers actually do shop things like that for their children. But so this is where all of these factors come in. You want to know, who am I writing for? So from there, you now know how you want to approach your content. So it's important to define your audience, because this will help you to create content that is relevant to the people that you want to reach. Now, also considering things like platforms where your content will be going. For instance, you're writing for Zikoko. Zikoko now has a social media page where most of us that are young follow them on social media. Before they really became popular on social media, I used to know them as I used to know it as a blog. So they had a blog. And when I need to send content to Zikoko, I know that I need to write in a way that I'm talking to young people that they don't have time to read plenty things. They don't have time to start going through your complex grammar. They don't have time. They just want you to. So you want to talk, you want to write like you are having a conversation with a friend. So all of these things helps you to know how you want to now channel your energy, how you want to write. If someone tells you, I need someone to write an article for me and I'm putting it on Zikoko, you will know that you cannot write it like you're writing for people that are reading newspapers, like the elderly men. No, you are writing for people that are actually the target audience that visit this platform. So this is where all of these things come in. You need to know all of these things before you start writing your content. So the next thing is to research. Research, I cannot even emphasize this thing more than I don't know how to do it, because research is very, very, very important when it comes to writing content. Now, for instance, I got a brief from someone to say, oh, I want someone that will manage social media for a food truck business. I don't have an idea. I've never worked for a food truck brand. Not to now talk of the fact that they are not in Nigeria. So in such situation, what will you do? You have to research. So research is very important. Now, it's only in movies I have seen food truck. You know, all these Hollywood movies where you see them, oh, somebody will have a truck outside and then you go grab it, maybe ice cream or something. They actually do exist, but I've never seen them. Not to talk of knowing how I want to write to push such brand to the audience, you know. But then when you research, everything will always be fine. So it's very important to do your research, gather information about this business. You know, also you also want to check out what other people are doing. For instance, you want to start managing social media for an HR consulting firm. You need to go around social media. You need to go around websites to see, okay, people that are in this space, what are they currently doing? What are the kind of contents that they put out on social media? What are the kind of contents that they put that people engage with? You know, that has a lot of likes. You know, you want to know all those things. They're like expos, you know, that will guide you to now do better for your clients. So the first thing, identify your goal, why you are writing, who you're writing for, and your target audience. Then the next thing is to research. Then the third thing is to draft your content. But mind you, sometimes people like to have an outline before they start drafting. I'm not against that. It's very important. I do that sometimes too. You want to have an outline. And also depends, it also depends on the kind of content you are doing though. For instance, social media, it's very important. You want to say, okay, these are my, we call it content pillars. These are my content pillars. Okay, on Monday, I want to be able to write about what is going on in the oil and gas industry. On Tuesday, I want to be able to write about the new service that we just launched in the company. On Thursday, you know, so you have an outline of what you want to do, you know. So your research, so that's where your research to plays in, like they work hand in hand. All of these processes, you have to do them hand in hand. So when you've done your outline, you now start, you research according to all of these things. So yeah, when you have your outline, you can now draft your content. You can now start saying, okay, on this day, this is what I'm saying. On this day, this is what I'm saying. So you draft without focusing too much on perfection. Trust me, it's going to take your time. So you want to try to just draft first. You know, use short paragraphs if it's a blog. Social media, you don't need, of course, you don't need to write something long. But let's say blog or other types of writing, avoid long paragraph. You know, there are times where you might need to use bullet points, you know, and pictures in between to make sure that it's actually very engaging for people. You know, there are times where I've had to review write-ups and I see something that should be one paragraph, somebody will turn it into two, or something that should be two, they'll make it into one. So all of these things affects your the quality of your content and affect how much your content can actually gain, you know, attract readership. So it's very important to use short paragraphs, you know, where you need to add visuals like pictures, to add pictures. For instance, you're writing for a travel blog now. I mean, you want to add pictures so that whatever you're writing will be very exciting to read. So it's also very important to maintain clarity, avoid jargons, avoid all those grammars that people are still confused about the meaning. There's some words that sometimes when you think about it, yeah, okay, which of the meanings should I use today? It has multiple meanings. You know, avoid things like that. Try to make sure that your writing is as simple as possible. Now, after drafting your content, you want to edit and proofread. It is very important. So you review your content for grammar errors, spelling errors, punctuation errors. You want to check every single thing. Now, it's very important to even have a second eye sometimes. Now, if you are working alone and you don't have a second eye, you might want to go back to the document. So there's something I do sometimes when I write my content before I give it to the designer to say, okay, design with this content to this information. I release the content when I'm done. I'll go back the next day. And trust me, I will see something that must be corrected. I will see something that I'll be like, no, I think I need to rephrase this thing. It will sound better if it is written this way. In fact, there are even times I've gotten to the point of, in fact, sharing to my clients, and then I'm like, this thing could sound better, and I'll retrieve it. So yeah, it's very important to edit whatever you've written. Make sure that after your draft has been done, you edit. You do not just send it to your client like that. No, you know, especially social media where you need to write and they need to design for you. Before designing, some clients, trust me, you miss clients that do not even have the time to be looking at you. They just want to see that design and your copy in it and your content in it. But in as much as possible, as much as they can, try to see how you can push your content to them first. let them look at it before you go ahead to even start making designs for that content. But yeah, you want to carefully check for errors, grammar errors, punctuation. Am I putting commas where I'm supposed to put commas? The words that should not be capitalized, are they capitalized? Things like that. If you're not careful, that particular thing I just said, for instance, where you need to put the word "the," you might see that you've capitalized "t," whereas you are not supposed to. So things like that, going back to look at your content before you share it with your client also helps you to be able to pick things like this. Now, for this aspect of your writing, for this particular process, you have tools that can actually help you. Tools like Grammarly, Anyway. In fact, I have Grammarly installed on my laptop. As little as emails, I'm typing emails. Grammarly is there to say, Auntie, rephrase this thing, or Auntie, remove this word. This thing is sounding too complex. So you need tools like that. It might be in the order you're just writing, but Grammarly will help you to say, okay, this could sound better. This word, you wrote it, you did not spell it well. Sometimes you might be rushing and you just spell and you miss one word. Grammarly will call your attention to it. So that's the essence of having tools like this. I mean, at the end of the document, I'll also share more tools, but this is just to insert at this point to say, okay, for editing, these tools are actually important. Okay, so this is just a breakdown of the whole process. First of all, identify your topic and your target audience. Secondly, carry out research. Carry out research to know what's going on. What are other people saying about this thing? But I want to point out something. When you are carrying out research, some people end up doing plagiarism, which is very wrong. Don't go and copy because I'm saying you should you should make research and know what other people are saying about that topic. Don't end up copying what people are saying. Have your own perspective, have your own write-up. But this thing should just help you and make your work faster. Research will help you to have an idea of what you should be saying, how you should be writing it. But please avoid plagiarism. So after you carry out your research, you create an outline. I said that it's very important sometimes to have an outline before you draft your content. Then you edit and proofread before you publish. You can be publishing on the blog, you can be publishing on the websites, company websites, you can be publishing on social media, depending on whatever platforms your content will be going to. So what is the element of a great content? What are the elements? The first thing is clarity. You want your write-up to be very clear. Use simple language, I've mentioned it before, avoid ambiguous words, avoid words that will get people trying to check the dictionary before they go to the dictionary and come back, they'll lose interest in reading your piece. So make use of simple terms a lot. Use engaging headlines. So this is for cases where you need an headline. For instance, the website's contents, the blogs, articles. Use a very catchy headline. You have tools these days now. Well, people are saying Grammarly is making chat GPT is making people lazy. But what I say is no, it doesn't make people lazy. It makes people think more intelligently and makes people work faster. Now I can write something and I put it on ChatGPT and say, please make this thing, rephrase this into something that will be more catchy. And now they can give me, ChatGPT can give me 5 options. And out of the 5, I will now pick and join everything together into a very powerful headline. So yeah, ChatGPT can help you arrive at catchy and relevant titles. Structure. Make sure, like I mentioned before, short paragraphs, headings, bullet points, and readability. Make sure that whatever you write is very easy to read. If you need to use short subtopics to attract, to keep people going, you can also adapt that into your writing. Originality. I mentioned it earlier. Please avoid using what other people have written. The essence of research is just to know what people are saying to ensure that you are on track. Then value, whatever you're writing should be able to give value. Either it's providing insights into something, information, entertaining content, everything you're writing should offer value to whoever is reading it. Now, call to action. I gave a difference between copywriting, content writing, and content creation. But yeah, I also said most times that you end up being the two of it, content writer and copywriter, because as a content writer, you always, most times you find yourself also doing copywriting, which is writing content for marketing sake. So yeah, you also want to ensure that you have call to action that will make people, connect people to whatever they've read, you know. For instance, they see a very catchy, from seeing a catchy headline, they want to take action, they want to click on that thing, to know more about it. So yeah, it's very important also to have a call to action when you're writing content. Now, so there are several content writing tools that can help you as a content writer. Now, we have tools for research and ideation. So when you want to do your research, there are so many tools. After this class, you can also go and browse about several tools, how to use them. I wouldn't want to start going through all of the tools one by one because it takes so much of our time. So what I did was to just have like a breakdown. Google Trends, it helps you to identify trending topics, answer the public, BuzzSumo, SEMrush, Chat GPT. This Chat GPT, we know many people overuse this thing, but it is that helpful. You can say, oh, I want to write. Um, so yesterday I was having a conversation with a client, and they needed to urgently do a flyer. They wanted to have like an investment training with another company, and they needed a really catchy copy on the flyer. Nothing much, just a copy that will grab people's attention. I'll make them to have interest in attending that program. I was really busy when that request came in, but I took notes of everything that they described. Say, oh, we want it to be like this. Or when I was done with that meeting, I just went to my laptop. I arranged everything that I wrote. While you are taking notes in the meeting, sometimes might mix up some things. So what I did, I went back to my laptop, I arranged everything that I took as a note from that meeting, from that brief meeting, and I put it on ChatGPT and said, please, I need help. I need to get this. And I had options from ChatGPT. All I needed to do, of course, the human element, very important. If you are a good content writer, you will also know that you have a part to play. You cannot just copy whatever ChatGPT gives to you. So I just refined it and I sent to them and they loved it. Now, what ChatGPT did was to help me generate ideas. So it's also one of the tools that I use for ideas generation amongst the other tools that I've mentioned there. Now, for writing, tools for writing, we have Grammarly, we have Hemingway Editor, we have Quibots, we have several. Now, this Microsoft Word, Google, and Google Docs, I have to add this here because if you are working with a team that you need to come up with the content together, you can just have a document where, fine, even though you're not working with a team, it also helps you to be able to share for maybe your client to add feedback or to even review it and maybe tweak to the way they want it to be without you having to download documents and edit, send back. So with Google Doc, you can just have a live document. All you need to do is to share, add them to the live document, and they can always access it to see what you're doing. So while you're writing, you have somebody else on the document with you. No. So there are different reasons, different purposes of all of these tools that I mentioned that you can take note of them and then go back to browse about them later. So Quibots also helps to rephrase. When you are writing, you feel like this sentence is not making sense. I think it can be better. Quibots can help you to rephrase. So Grammarly helps you to check for errors. Um, you can have it installed as an extension on your laptop, or you can just have it somewhere on your tab. You can just copy whatever you're writing, paste on Grammarly for you to help you check for errors. Yeah, so Chat GPT again, I'm mentioning it again because I also use it for editing, because you can just, if I don't want to go through all of those apps, because most times I have my Chat GPT open, so I don't want to start trying to open on the other tools. I just go to Chat GPT and whatever I've written, I paste it there, and I just put my prompt. Oh, check for grammar errors, or if this needs to be um, rephrased, how would you rephrase it to sound more, you know, polished and everything, and it does the job for me. So all of these things are tools that actually make work really easy for you as a content writer. So we also have tools for content management and publishing. So let's say you are writing for websites. We have WordPress. WordPress is there to help you publish your content. Um, HubSpot also helps you. You have tools for content creation, marketing, all of them in HubSpot all in one. Then for buffer outside, then Hootsuite. So it's called Hootsuite. So I used to use this a lot when I used to have work with an organization before I started to do my thing when it comes to social media management. So we have several brands, and you, in case you might be so busy and you forget to post. Now, after you've done the work of writing, the last step, which is to publish, you don't want to now miss the time where you should publish it. So this tool helps you to, you can just go schedule your post to say, oh, by this time this should go up on Instagram, by this time this should go up on Twitter, by this time this should go up on Facebook. So these tools are there to just help you schedule your stuff. Mind you, Meta now also has its tool. You can also schedule your posts on Instagram, Facebook. I'm sure most of you use that a lot. You can also schedule your posts to go up at the time you want it. It can even be tomorrow, next tomorrow. Just put it there and move on with your life, and the post will be up when you want it to be up. Okay, so what are before I end, I would like to spotlight the opportunities for content writing for content writers. So, if you are a content writer, there are so many things that you can benefit from it if you are able to build your skills in content writing. Now, the first thing is remote work opportunities. So, if you say you do not want to work for an organization, you want to work from home, you can always get gigs. You can, there are gigs everywhere. People are looking for content writers that write for their website. I've sat in my house one day, I'm going to my 9 to 5, and I wrote content for somebody's website and I got paid, So this is like a side hustle. So it can either be a side hustle for you, or you can decide to say, okay, I don't like to go to the office. I want to be in my house and be doing this. So when you get better in it, before they'll tell people that this is what you do. You can get recommendations. Most of the brands I do content writing for today, I I did not go out to look for them, their recommendations. They were recommended. I was recommended to clients. So the opportunity is you can either have a chance to work from home, working for different clients at the same time. And then with these tools, if you can have time to do other things, because once you have written your content, you plan, you write it for the month, you can just schedule and then you are fine. So there are platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, etc. You can just have a profile there, and you can always get gigs, some of them in dollars. So I need the service of a writer, I need to write an article, I need to write a blog post, some people don't know how to write, or trust me, it might look like it's easy, but if you are able to own your skill in writing, you can make money from it. So many people write, mind you, many people write, but the act of writing the proper content is a skill on its own. So if you can write a proper content, oh yes, you can make money from it. Another thing is personal branding. So it helps you to effectively write and push out materials to position yourself. Now, I'll give this example. There's this man that used to be my boss. Now he has really become so big that, managing company from Dubai for a brand for about 14, I think they are in about 14 African countries. And from Dubai, he's managing all of this, entities. He's a really big man, you know. And one day I forgot what made us to talk on LinkedIn, and he was like, "Oh, I'm a fan of your content. I like the way you tell your story. I'm a fan of it." And I was like, "Are you serious?" So now, if you are a good content writer, you'll be able to position yourself properly. There are so many people on LinkedIn writing, they're putting out content, writing things, but there's some people that when they write, you know that you usually stop to read whatever they posted, because unconsciously you might not know, but unconsciously you have seen that the way they write their content, you always find it exciting, you always find it interesting and readable. Something, maybe they have short paragraphs, or they have emojis in between, or they have pictures to back it up, or they have a way of starting in a way that to excite you. So this is a skill. So many people are writing, but so many people are writing with that skill, and that is what distinguishes you. So it also helps you to be able to write and put out yourself. And then the third thing is, I know people here, some of us are from different career backgrounds, but if you think you want to go into marketing communications, content writing is one very easy way. If you can write content, you can write for social media, you can write for, it is very easy for you to venture into marketing communications as a career. many people in that field, many of us, many people started as social media managers, many people started as content writers. So yeah, it is very easy. So this is also one advantage of knowing this whole skill of content writing. It helps you to be able to venture into the career easily. So yeah, I don't know if you have any questions, and I hope this has been insightful for us. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Doreen. That was a very insightful session. I hope everyone was able to pick as much as I was able to pick. I mean, this is literally a course that people should do for like 2 weeks that you put together in one day and in 1 hour, in fact, less than 1 hour, and you delivered value. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate your sharing this knowledge with us. So this is a point where we allow you to ask questions if you have any question. Any question? Okay. So I take it to mean that the session was very, very explanatory. So Dora, you did a fantastic job. There was no part of the session that wasn't clear to anybody. So thank you once again. Before we go, I just wanted to announce to us that this session is a recorded session. So for those of us that joined in late, we're going to be uploading this session on our YouTube channel. And once it is done, we will share the link directly with you guys in the WhatsApp group so that you can, sorry about the background noise, please, 1 minute.